do y'all want to know what's hard? What's hard is walking up them steps and you can't breathe once you get to the top. And all you did was go from one floor to the next. That's what's hard. What's hard is laying down to go to bed and your asthma flare up just because you're on your back and your lungs is like, we did a lot today. You need to hit that inhaler. Like, that's hard. What's up, everyone? If you can hear the sound of my voice, that means that you are tuned into Actually with Jordan Alexa, where perspective is on the hot seat. Here we challenge conformity and ignite insight by encouraging you to think for your own self. And you can think of me as your friend that's going to tell you what it is, how it is, and if it is. Because sometimes it is, and sometimes it just sure ain't. How y'all doing? Welcome to the show. I'm so glad to be here with you guys. Once again, broken record, love y'all. All the goods, whatever. We are officially in February. How come it's pronounced February, but it's spelled February? We're probably all saying it wrong. And it wouldn't be the first word that's like that. February means that it is what people like to say, love month. And let me tell y'all something. I posted a poll on my story trying to see if y'all wanted to have conversations about relationships, and the fight that was taking place in my DMs was just ridiculous. The people who wanted to talk about relationships were passionate. But by golly, the people who did not want to talk about relationships were passionate too. Goodness gracious. You guys really were fighting there, and ultimately the decision that was made was that we will not be talking about relationships. We will not be talking about relationships, but it was really so much back and forth that I said that I will just bring my husband back on here again, and you guys seem really excited about that. So he'll be here for the next episode. So I'm gonna bring my husband on, and we'll talk. And we'll have a segment where you guys can ask us questions. I posted about that on my story too. Feel free to DM. We already got a good amount of questions in. Some of them are asking kind of the same thing, but we already got some good questions in. So feel free to DM me, follow me at actually.jordanalexa, or you can follow me at _jordanalexa, or you can email me at actuallypod@gmail.com. Send in your questions, all that good stuff. And yeah, he'll be here next week. Let's hope he behaves. Because last time he was not behaving, but it's okay. Yeah, other than Love Month, it is Black History Month. And I love Black History Month. Number one, because hold on, let me do it right. I said black, but it just, it was so strong that it just sounded like breath. I am black and proud. And I also just like messing with people, during Black History Month. Any inconvenience, I'll be like, really? During Black History Month? Are you serious? People did not know how to take it at all. Actually, something that I was told is that people do not know when I am joking. And apparently, because I tell jokes, and I tell jokes in the same tone of voice that I talk regularly, the only person who knows it's a joke is me. So I've learned that's why people get offended by me often. I'm joking a lot of times. I'd say 57% of the things that come out of my mouth are not to be taken seriously. No, I won't say 57 because that's above half. 40, 41, 50. But yeah, I love Black History Month. The only thing that bothers me about Black History Month is like the corporate grab. You know, you get to see people's perception of the Black experience. It's annoying, very annoying. And also, everybody wants to support Black, businesses, support Black, everything during Black History Month. Is like, shouldn't you support Black all year? Don't get me wrong. I love the amplifying and the honoring and the putting on the main stage. Love it. Why don't we support Black all year? Questions that need answers. Society. Anyways, that's besides the point. Something that I have to mention is on the last episode, I talked about how, the podcast has reached 12 countries, hundreds of hours listened, whatever. And something that I mentioned was that our listenership, like the people who listen to it on podcast platforms versus people who actually watch it on YouTube, there's like a stark difference. Like it's a huge difference. I said that, maybe 15, 20, 25, 30 people will watch a video. Those are whoever y'all are, that solid 30, thank you. But for some reason, that solid 30, I don't know if y'all ran out and got the goons. I don't know what y'all did, because one day it was, I did something, I was editing something. I was taking a clip from the video or something, and it said 9 views. I don't blink at that because, like I said, 15, 20, 25, 30. I'm really focused on the podcast platforms, our listeners, whatever. Why the next day I wake up, it's at 100? Why did y'all go and get y'all goons? Why y'all get mad because I said it's only about 15, 20 of y'all? Y'all ran and got an extra 80-something people to watch the video. I am not mad at it, though. Hey, how y'all doing? Everybody who watched the video, hey, if you're back, I love you. Thank you so much for joining in. Thank you so much. I'll start beatboxing in a second. Thank you so much for joining the fun. Thank you so much for joining the pod. Please stay. Please come back. Please like. Please share. Please subscribe. All right. So for those of you who have been here, you know that at this point I answer a random question, because here we are thinkers. We are question answerers. We're in our heads a lot. So one of the things that we do here is we answer a random question. And as I answer the question, you answer the question yourself. You can answer in the comments. You can, send me a message, whatever. Blase, blase. So let's get into it. Okay, so I'll roll the dice. And it says, what is something you're really good at but not many people know about? It's funny because I literally was thinking about this like 2 days ago. People don't know that, like, if you tell me a secret, I won't tell it. That's, I'll put it in my back pocket. You'll never hear about it ever again unless you bring it up. Why? I like the privileges. I could say that it's because I'm a good friend. But I literally was thinking about this the other day. Like, I was like, yeah, I'm a good listener, I'm a good friend. But the truth is, y'all, I'm nosy. And I like the privileges of knowing stuff. I just do. I'm not even going to hold you. I'm not going to do nothing with the information. I'm not going to run and tell nobody. I just like to know stuff about people. I'm going to pray for you. So there's a plus. I am going to pray for you. I'm going to put it on my prayer board. Only person going to hear about it is the Lord. Unless you go on and run and tell that homeboy. That's it. I'm going to keep that secret. That's something that people, I think because people who know me, like I talk a lot, people have assumed, like people like, I can't tell you because you talk a lot. And I'm like, I talk a lot. but have I ever told your business? Think about every single time you told me something. Did you hear it again? No. Because I am thoroughly enjoying just having that information. I don't know what it is about it. When somebody tell me a secret, I'll be like, ooh. Somebody told me a secret. I don't know why they told me. But I was in it, and I was in it to win it. And I prayed for them. And guess what? I'm going to hold on to that secret until they tell other people. And whoever they tell, that's on them. But I got that secret in my back pocket. And I just thoroughly enjoy it. Another thing about me is, like, if I do something for you, you're not going to hear about it ever again. Not unless you're saying thank you. Like, if you text me and be like, hey, Jordan, can I have $20? Sure. I'll give you $20. You'll never hear about it ever again. There's no reason for you to hear about it ever again. I'm never, ever, ever, if you do me dirty, if I turn around one day and say, hey, can I have $20? And you're like, $20? Why would I give you $20? I ain't going to say, you remember I gave you $20? No, because you know I give you $20. All right, now I'm rambling. But yeah, those are the things that, that are about me that I don't think other people would know right off the bat, or you just wouldn't know unless you know me. Okay, guys, so let's just go ahead and get into today's topic because that's what we're all here for, right? Duh. So, guys, for anybody who must know, this year I turned 30. Oh, God. I shouldn't feel this way because I've been saying that I'm 30 since I turned 25. Because, the whole math principle is like when you get to a 5, just round up. Anything below a 5, round down, 5 and up, round up. I've been saying that I'm 30 since I was 25 years old. So you would think that would lessen the blow. It has not. But yeah, I am turning 30 this year. And of course, every time you get close to your birthday, speaking of which, it's nowhere near my birthday. It is almost close to my half birthday, which I have worked hard to establish in my household as something that is worthy of celebration. And officially this year, after 5 years of marriage, well, it will literally be 5 years of marriage on my half birthday. We will be celebrating. Ooh, I just love when people cooperate with the shenanigans, But yeah, it's nowhere near my birthday. But because it's such a big number, I'm already reflecting because it's like I'm running my last lap of my 20s. And I don't know how I'm going to take it because when I turned 20, I cried. Because I was like, I kept saying, I'm 20. Like, I did not want to grow up and become an adult. Everybody want to be grown. Everybody want to get out and do whatever. When I saw adulthood, I was like, that looks terrible. I don't want to be an adult. So I cried when I turned 20. Hopefully I don't cry when I turn. Lord have mercy. Hopefully I don't cry when I turn 30. And I can get myself together before the actual day comes. But I do have friends who have, crossed the threshold or approaching the threshold just like me. And something that is crazy is like I literally can feel my brain shifting. Like I could feel my brain like solidifying or maturing or whatever. Like I feel it molding into like honestly, the main thing I feel, which is crazy because I already don't care, but like I really don't care. I do not care about what nobody says. I don't care about what nobody has to say. I just said the same thing twice, but I don't care about nothing except for what I got going on. Me, Jordan Alexa. That's it, right? But another thing that I noticed, and it's not just me because I've had this conversation with other people, is like and nobody's like blatantly saying this is what I'm gathering from talking to people, is that there's this understanding of like, do whatever it takes, right? And it's like everybody who is, coming to this area has this mindset of, I'm going to do whatever it takes. I'm going to do what needs to be done. I'm going to get it done. But the thing about it is, it's in like two different directions, right? So there, the overall thing is the whole do whatever it takes attitude. But there are people who is like, I'm going to do whatever it takes for me to maintain, for me to survive, for like, I'm going to do what I got to do. I'm going to work whatever job I got to work. I'm going to whatever. But then there's this side that's, I'm going to do whatever it takes to accomplish the vision that I have for my life, right? And I think the reason why I've noticed this separation is because a lot of the people that I have been friends with have been people who are, what people would consider dreamers or big dreamers, or people who had like, I wouldn't even say like big visions for themselves. They just had like these goals that, if you ask me, I think they're attainable, but I'm also somebody who thinks that anything is possible through God. Amen. Amen. Anyways, they had these like goals and aspirations and a vision for their life that like they were so held bent on, that they were so passionate about pursuing. And now it's getting to a point where it's like either they're continuing in that path, but it's like now they're getting to a place where it's like, whatever I got to do, or it's to a place where it's like, sometimes when I talk to people, it's like, as I'm listening to them, the smaller their vision gets, like every single time I talk to them. Like, I'll be like, oh, what are you going to do about this? And they'll be like, oh, well, that'll be there. It's like, oh, like, things are really shifting, things are really changing for you and your mindset. And for me, it's just really, really interesting to see. It's really interesting to see how there's literally like a division taking place. And it is extremely understandable because survival, staying alive in this economy, woo, I understand, you got bills, you got people building families, you got car note, you got rent, you got the lights, you got the water, you got car insurance, it's just like you walk out the door and money just start falling out your pocket immediately just because you stepped outside. Ain't nothing free no more. Nothing is just, you can just go outside and breathe fresh air. No. You breathe in air, you breathe out coins. You're spending money. And so I get it, right? But it's just interesting to see how for some people that very fact, like all the things I just named, is either pushing them in a direction of, all right, I just gotta build a life to where I'm able to supply those things. Like I'm able to secure those things and have security. And then there's other people who are, that fuels the necessity for them to accomplish that vision even more. And don't get me wrong, like, I don't think that going after your vision or going after something that you saw for your life requires irresponsibility. Like I was talking to somebody recently and we were talking about faith. That we were actually talking about the episode before last, before this one, excuse me, faith over fear. And for some reason, people have got it in their mind, and it's not just this person. But people have got it in their mind that faith equals irresponsibility. And that's not it at all. Um, faith is, you know, choosing to believe and doing, because you know how faith without works is dead. The works that you do is confirmation of your faith, right? So you believe that you're going somewhere. It's like me and my husband were talking today, and he was, we were talking about some things about our household, and I said, well, we'll pray about it. And he was like, well, part of faith is preparation. And I was like, you know what? You're darn skippy, man of God. I'm so sorry. He checked me real quick. And so, you know, faith is not an irresponsible thing to do. I think, unfortunately, we have seen people be irresponsible in the name of faith. And that wasn't faith. That was just them being unwise. But, having faith does not equal irresponsibility. Yeah, but I've seen people basically make the decision based off of, even just the means of survival. Like, I've got to do what I need to do to accomplish this vision. And something that I have noticed across the board, that everybody is saying, whether they are going in one direction or the other, including myself. Oh, the one thing that we're all saying is, this is hard. This is hard. And I think that, sometimes one person on one side, like I talk to people who would be like, oh, I wish that I can just go ahead and pursue this, or I wish I can go ahead and pursue that. And it's like, you can. And then there's other people like me who's like, I wish that I could just work a job, and I wish that I can just, whatever. It's like, you can. And the reason why I say you can for both sides is because if both sides are saying that this is hard, and both sides are saying that, there are parts of the experience that are not necessarily favorable or easy, then that means we have to choose a hard, right? So you have to choose your hard. And I was thinking about this when I was talking to somebody else, and they were explaining to me how what they're going through, whatever, and they're like, it's so hard, it's so hard. I said, well, it would be hard if you did this too, and it'd be hard if you did that too, and it'd be hard if you did this too. And I was like, you have to choose your hard. And apparently, in that moment, I thought that was a phrase that I came up with by myself, but it is not. I was talking to somebody else about it, about the revelation that I got in that conversation, and they were like, yeah, that's a thing. And I just can't stand when somebody else gets to something before me. No, I'm just kidding. But I looked it up, and the whole idea of choosing your hard is like, it's not a foreign concept. Like, it's a thing that people talk about all the time. But something that I was shocked by was the response to the phrase choose your hard. And I'm reading like blog posts, and I'm reading articles and different things like that, and people either get it, like it either makes sense to them, like they grasp it, and it's like, yeah, choose your heart. Like, ultimately, I make the decision, and either way is not going to be, peaches and cream, but, I choose the path that I want to go on, kind of thing. Or people really feel like that's an unfair thing to say, which I don't get why choose your hard would be unfair, an unfair thing to say, except for I think people a lot of people get so caught up in their emotions. A lot of people get so caught up in like, but this is what I'm going through, and this is what and something that I always say, like something that I always used to talk about with like my teams and stuff like that. Because I've just been in leadership roles in different kind of situations. Something I've always brought up to people is everybody thinks that their job is the hardest. Like everybody thinks that they're just doing so much. And in like a retrospect, it's hard to you because you're doing it. Like it's a lot to you because you're doing it. And it's like if you did this person's job next to you, you would realize that they're doing a lot. And it might be harder for you because you're doing a lot within your strength. Like you're doing a lot within what it is that you're able to do. And they're doing a lot with what it is that they're able to do. But everybody thinks that they're working so hard. Everybody thinks that they're working the hardest. And that's not necessarily true. It's just like I don't know if it's the same, but like when people say like if everybody threw their struggle into a pile and you saw everybody struggle, you would hurry up and pick yours back up. You know? That's why they tell you like don't complain about what you got going on. Granted, life is not easy. Pray about it. Talk to the Lord. Take it to the Lord in prayer. But at the same time, it's kind of like complaining. It's like, what's that gonna do for you? It's not gonna do anything, actually. Which is, speaking of complaining, just, you know how I do. When you're looking forward to something, don't say, like, I can't wait. Or when this happens, it's gonna be good. Or when this happens, it's gonna be, this is gonna be great. And I came up with it, like I was thinking about this today because my husband was saying, he was talking about something. He was like, oh, it's going to be so good. Oh, he's talking about his music because he writes music. He's a musician. He's a singer. He's a producer. He does a lot. He was like, man, some good music is about to come out, this year. And I was like, you've already made good music, And it's like this mindset of like, if you're constantly talking about what's going to be good, what's going to be good, what's going to be good, you won't appreciate what's good now. So I don't know why I shared that, but if you threw your situation into a pile, you'd pick it right back up. Maybe, you should, I don't stop complaining. Granted, things may be hard, but look at things from another perspective. I hate when people say it could be worse, but it could be worse. What you're going through probably is very hard. I'll give you that. What you're going through probably is extremely hard. It's excruciating. It's terrible. I'll be the one to say, I'm so sorry that you're going through that. I'm so sorry. But stop complaining. People either they get the concept of choose your heart or they hate the concept of choose your heart. And, I was thinking about it. And I was thinking about it from the standpoint of like weight, right? Because, y'all, I'm not self-conscious about much. But one thing I am self-conscious about is I got a big head. I got my daddy's head. It's not fair. It's not fair. I'm a girl with a big old man head. And I can't have a big head and be chunky. Like for me, I can't have a big head and be chunky. I can't have a big head and smile and have, chubby cheeks because that's just not. When I look at me, I don't want to. I don't want to see it. And something that I do is work out. And I have chosen to start working out more and to change my diet as of recent again. Because everybody know what. Unless you do this for real, it's up and down, teeter-totter. It is what it is. It's life. And so because of it, I have lost weight. I have seen a difference in my body. I have seen a difference in my energy. I have just seen a difference. And it's not easy. It's hard. and I chose this hard. And something about that process that I thought about is sometimes whenever I lose weight, people tell me, "Oh, you're losing weight, but you look good." Okay, like what you want me to do about that? Like they're like, you carry weight well. Does that mean that I'm just supposed to stay thickums? I'm already thickums by myself. I don't want extra thickies, I don't want extra. And I think people are viewing it from the standpoint of the difficulty or the exertion that you do when you are making a lifestyle change, because they're probably thinking about it from their own experience or from their own standpoint, and that's not necessarily the hard that they would choose. But do y'all want to know what's hard? What's hard is walking up them steps and you can't breathe when you get to the top, and all you did was go from one floor to the next. That's what's hard. What's hard is laying down to go to bed and your asthma flare up just because you're on your back and your lungs is like, we did a lot today. You need to hit that inhaler. Like, that's hard, right? What's hard is going into the store and knowing that you're one size and putting that size on and it ain't going over them hips. It's not slipping over the thigh. It's not, the hole is too small for your big head. Because your head is big, but it's chunky now, and so it's harder to put it on. That's hard. And that's not the hard I wanted. You know? I chose to change my lifestyle. That's just the hard I chose. And I think people sometimes attribute stuff to that, like, oh, you're just lazy. Oh, you just don't want to. For some people, they don't want that hard. And it's not about lazy, it's about what they're choosing. They know the reality of where they are. People are allowed to make a decision. People are allowed to live their life exactly how they want to live it. And that's just what it is. Choose your heart. It goes for everything. And I think that for me, I've been thinking about it as it pertains to like my lifestyle, the vision I have for my life, my livelihood, just because that is what I am, battling with right now. For me, I constantly have thoughts of like, you know, maybe the things that you wanted to accomplish just aren't feasible. They aren't doable anymore. Or maybe, your time has passed. Maybe, you're getting older. You need to grow up. You need to let those things go. Or it could be that maybe, you had those visions, you had those dreams, you had those ideas in an immature state. Maybe you need to grow up and, worry about taking care of responsibilities and, just focus on that. And maybe you need to just focus on being a supportive wife. Maybe you just need to focus on, pushing your husband's vision. Maybe you just need to focus on preparing yourself for motherhood and, being able to cultivate and raise the next generation. Maybe I am too beat up and traumatized and, influenced to accomplish anything. And maybe I just need to create a atmosphere that is conducive for children to flourish and for them to go on and accomplish great things, And that is something that all of those things, I think about those things constantly just because I am getting older. The unfortunate part is I know that a lot of these feelings A lot of these feelings come from societal pressures because, like, when I get by myself, like when it's just me and the Lord, I like 85% of me is totally cool with God's timing. Totally fine. Totally fine with God's plan for my life. That other 15% got her ears to the streets. And the streets are saying, girl, you're getting old. You need to have a baby. Girl, you should be here by now. Girl, just go ahead and do this so you can have stability and you can just have money. You could just, everything in society says that, you know, you chase, you don't chase a dream, you chase what's lucrative. And I think that if you are blessed enough, you can live a life where you chase your dream and that is lucrative, or you chase your passion and that is lucrative. But like big houses, flashy cars, you know, kids in nice clothes. I want a farm. I want horses, goats, bunnies, chickens, parrots, dogs, cats. Horses. I already say horse, cow, donkey, ostrich. I want a farm. I'm like, how are you gonna get that, girl? You need money to get that, girl. And you know, everything around you says, you know, be in pursuit of, you know, what's going to bring you the big things, what's going to bring you the flashy things, what's going to bring you the things that are impressive to other people. Because I know people that are passionate. I literally know people who are passionate about doing a certain thing, but they pursued something in corporate America and they make bank. But don't ask. But they are miserable. So when I say, like, I think when I talk to people, because the vision for my life is pretty big, is pretty steep. I think that, like, they be feeling like I think that everybody should just be going after this big thing or be going after. It's like I was talking to somebody and they were like, I'm not a dreamer. You know, I don't dream big. And I said, well, what's something that you've wanted to do your entire life? And they said, be a therapist. I said, that's a dream. That's a dream. That is a dream. And so when I'm talking about a dream, I'm talking about a vision, or I'm talking about something that is literally burning in your heart to do, burning in your heart to accomplish. That is what I mean. Like, I don't mean like go be Beyonce. Like, I don't mean that. I mean, it can be as simple as, I know people who their live stream was to be a mother. Their live stream was to be a mother. They were not happy until they became a mother. They pursued other things. They bought stuff. They had nice houses. They had nice clothes. They had all of that because that is what society was saying that they should do. Society said, wait, yo, don't have no kid yet. But society also says, don't be too old when you have that kid. You know, society is confused. They are double-minded. So do not listen to them. Everything they say is like a poot in the wind. Gone. It doesn't matter. I'm sorry for making a fart noise. I apologize. But they weren't happy until they became a mother. You know, like I think about like my dad. Like my dad worked, I don't know what he did. I just know that that man was sharp and he had nice stuff, so I know that he was making something. Yeah. And whenever I needed something, I had. That's all I know. But my dad wanted to be a teacher. And guess what he's doing now? Teaching. And I love to hear my dad talk about being a teacher and his interaction with the kids and stuff like that. When he was doing that other stuff that he was doing, he never talked about his job except for saying, ugh, I got to go to work. Ugh, I got to travel. That's all he ever said about it. But he had nice stuff. He had all the things, But now he's doing what it is that he always wanted to do. And he's doing what he's passionate about. And I think another thing for me is like, I feel like for most people, you're going to try to end up doing it anyway. You're going to try to end up doing it anyway. So it's like, why not just do it now? Why not just all the time and energy that you are putting into staying alive? Why don't you just put it towards going in the direction of your dreams? Why don't you just put it towards going in the direction of what it is that you see for your life? Why don't you put all the energy you put into surviving and believing in yourself? Especially because, like I said, I've literally seen people push, and they get to a point where they have all the things that, they thought they were supposed to have, and they say, I still want this thing. And so it's just kind of like, just do it. Just do it. Just do it, whatever it takes. And do it whatever it takes looks like, hello, I work with dogs. Not because I necessarily want to, even though I love dogs. I love them so much. But because the schedule that I have allows for me to continue to build my business and be attentive to my clients without me going crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because I still need to make money right now. I know people who are fortunate to be able to work a good job with good hours and they're able to still push their business. That's beautiful. That is doing whatever it takes. Do whatever it takes. I think you have to get to a point where you're okay with God's timing. You're okay without instant gratification, because that's the thing. Instant gratification is the reason why a lot of people just stop. It's like, I tried and it didn't work. That's it. Y'all, this is my third podcast. Well, technically, this is my fourth podcast because I did 2 by myself, 1 with a friend, and this is my 4th time. Okay? And this is the first time, well, the one I did with my friend was doing really well. Okay? This one that I'm doing by myself, after these other times right here, this is the first time I've seen something shake. Do you see what I'm saying? And I really could have been like, after that first time, I could have been done. After that second time, I really could have been done. I could have been like, That third time, I think for the third time, I had the opportunity to settle. Because I was doing something, it was working, it was flourishing, it was changing. I don't want to say changing lives, that's pretty drastic, but we used to do speaking engagements and people used to cry. So I don't know. So I don't want to say changing lives because that seems pretty steep, but it was doing something. Like it was moving people. I feel like that was my opportunity to like settle right there. But at the same time, there was this thing that was telling me, do the podcast, do the solo podcast, do the solo podcast, do the solo podcast, do the solo podcast. And here I am. And I show up week after week after week, no matter what it looks like. It's like right now, I want to be in my bed. I do. That's just honest. But I'm doing whatever it takes. Part of doing whatever it takes is also just showing up. Just show up. And, being okay, once again, without instant gratification. So be okay with God's timing. Be okay without instant gratification. And be okay with the idea of discovery. I think the thing about choosing your heart is that one of the roads you take is more so uncertain. Like, especially when you have an idea for something you never seen done before, or even if you've been in a family and all of them are doctors, or all of them are lawyers, or everybody just is known for being in one field, or everybody's known for going in a certain direction, and you have an idea to go in a whole other direction. You being somebody who has not personally seen it done before, that's hard. That's scary. There is an uncertainty in that. But you have to be okay with discovery. Like, that's what life is about. Life is literally about discovery. Things you do will slowly unfold as you continue to make, you make a step, something else unfolds. You make a step, something else unfolds. You make a step, something else unfolds. And that's something that I've learned. It's like, just like this astronaut, I have astronauts everywhere. I have an astronaut here. I have an astronaut on my phone. I have an astronaut like on my business stuff. And, outside of science, because science is delicious. Let me tell you, favorite subject. But outside of that, like a symbol for discovery is an astronaut. I don't have astronaut because I like space or even, whatever. Let me tell you something. Do y'all think we actually went to the moon? My husband, I don't know why he'd be asking me. He'd be like, do you think we went to the moon? Oh, no. If we did, good for us. But if it came out that we didn't, and there was a list of people who were shocked, my name would not be on that list. I would not be shocked if we did not go. Anyways, be okay with discovery. That little astronaut everywhere is a reminder to me, like, especially because I'm a planner, especially because the way life has unfolded for me, anything that seems out of bounds, anything that seems out of what it was I was expecting, I am frazzled. I am shook. I am like, I almost get violent, like for real. Like I get angry. And I won't say violent. I'm sorry, I don't get violent. I do want to hit something. I need deliverance. Thank you, Lord. You have to be okay with discovery. You have to be okay with things just unfolding themselves before you, There was an episode that I had on this podcast where I talked about, purpose, because somebody asked me, how do you find your purpose? And I was like, like, you have to be okay with following unctions in your heart, following ideas that come to you, grabbing a hold of inspiration and going with it. That's like my husband. I'm talking about him so much, probably because we had a good day today. Me and my husband had a good day. But he, like I said earlier, he's a musician. So like different things that he would just be like, all right, I'm gonna do this. Or even, certain things that he's doing now came from him taking different film gigs. He did a film gig, he met somebody. He, they knew that he was a musician, so they asked him to give their child music lessons. And from there, my husband realizes, oh, I can do this. So he then goes and gets a few kids that he's just doing lessons with on the side, but it's not that serious, whatever. Then he realizes, because at the same time, he's in the mindset of, I'm just trying to survive. I'm just trying to pay bills. He's still trying to do that. And he had to let that go. Like he literally had to abandon that idea and decide to do whatever it takes over here. And as he's getting kids, people keep asking. More people keep asking. More people keep asking. Now he's at a place where he has a whole after school program with like 40 kids. But when he first started saying yes to those unctions and to those desires to go in these different directions, he had no idea that he would have an after school program influencing that many kids. And doors are opening for him, crazily. You see what I'm saying? You have to be okay with discovery, and you have to be okay with not being certain. Faith. Again, faith. So if you can't tell, if you couldn't tell by now, I am literally encouraging you to go after your dreams, to go after the vision you have for your life. And I don't know, I feel like I'm about to cry. Wait a second. What the heck? Go after your dreams, because first of all, I wouldn't be me if I didn't encourage people to go after their dreams. Like, I am a sucker for somebody with passion for something. Oh my gosh. I can sit and listen to somebody talk about something that they're passionate about forever, honestly. But I just know what it looks like for somebody to have a dream and to not go after it, and to, look back and be disappointed because they never did it. Or, one of the biggest things for me is, I've talked about my mom passing on here. And one of the biggest things that I saw in her life was she had big dreams. She had, these goals that she wanted to accomplish. Specifically, she had a nonprofit that she was able to accomplish crazy things with. And I used to listen to her talk about it for years until she finally made the decision to take the step. When she took the step, she would constantly be in fear of different programs that she wanted to implement and whatever, and blah, 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 blah. And it finally got to the point where everything that she spoke about was actually happening, and she died. And for me, I always think about, what if she just would have did it? Like, what if she just would have boldly and just relentlessly went after it without questioning herself, without questioning what it is that God put in her. Like, she was able to accomplish a lot through her nonprofit, like a lot. But how much more would she have been able to accomplish if she went after what she saw? Because what she saw started to happen, and she died. I just, for myself, I can't do that, but I also can't not encourage people not to go after what it is that they see, to go after what it is that's in their hearts. And, I think that will bring me to the last point, which is know your why. Know why you're doing what it is that you're doing. For some people, all they want to do is create stability for their family and put them in a beautiful home, and, be able to come home to them at night and just chill and watch TV, and that's it. And that's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And so whatever it takes to make that happen, do it. But at the same time, there are other people who have visions that require for you to make sacrifices, or to be in a certain position to where you would be influencing other people, or even saving lives. If you're a doctor, if you're a therapist, or if you're, a scientist, I don't know, the very thing that you would be doing is not only detrimental to you, but it's detrimental to others. Really, everything that we're doing is detrimental to everybody around us. But anyways, think about your why. Think about why it is that you're doing what it is that you're doing. Because if you don't have one, you will abandon it. You will leave it by the wayside. You will find other things elsewhere to get into. And that's just what it is. Find the reason why you're doing what you're doing. And you may not know why it is that you're doing what you're doing, but that's also when it gets back to pursue it. And you might figure it out, you know? That's how it was for me. I guess I could talk about that more later because I think at this point I've talked a lot. I was going to do a new segment today and that's not going to happen. But yeah, all in all, choose your hard. Either it's going to be hard doing what it is that you see, accomplishing the vision that you have for your life, going after your dreams, or it's going to be hard living with the fact that you chose not to. And that's it. Well, guys, once again, I love y'all. Make sure you follow me. At this point, it really feels so pointless plugging the podcast page, but follow actually Jordan Alexa. Y'all keep following me, and I've recently decided that that's okay. So you can also follow _ Jordan Alexa. That's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Once again, DM me, reach out to me. Let's talk. If you want to, you can send me an email, actuallypod@gmail.com. And don't forget to send your questions for the next episode because my husband will be here. And you can ask us whatever about marriage, relationships, etc., etc. But I'm going to go to bed now. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for listening. Yeah, this has been another episode of Actually with Jordan Alexa. Bye. I love you.